Program made possible by the Georgetown Scott County Tourism Commission. Georgetown, Kentucky. Pure, small town charm. Georgetown, Scott County Parks and Recreation. Four Roses Bourbon. And West Banco.
Did you know Kentucky has more navigable miles of water than any other state in the U.S. except Alaska?
Is Alaska still a state?
Includes 90,000 miles of streams and dozens of rivers.
It's also quite famous for some other liquids, those which flow from a barrel, that being beers, bourbons, and wine.
Many of the world's best-known distilleries can be found right here in the Bluegrass State, and interestingly enough, pretty darn close to many of our lakes, rivers, and streams.
We're here to take you on an expedition of the secrets and histories of our intricate waterways while visiting Kentucky's distilleries, breweries, and wineries.
I'm Carrie.
And I'm Kyle. And we're two Kentuckians who are pretty proud of our state and want to share a sip of what the Commonwealth has to offer. Well, hello, Carrie.
Hey, Kyle.
What exactly are we doing here today?
Well, I thought we'd take a little ride to start the show today.
Right, we are definitely riding, but we're not riding in a boat.
Nope, you are on Royal, and this here is Dealer, and we're at the Whispering Woods Riding Stables in Georgetown.
Right, well, that's something different, I'll say. Where are we headed?
Well, since we were in the heart of horse country, I thought we could take a little ride on our way to Elkhorn Creek.
So, we're going to the Elkhorn Creek. What exactly is going on there?
Well, there's a nice paddle fest going on today. I thought we'd check out.
Paddle fest?
Yeah.
Sounds like something they'd have beer at.
Actually, I think there is some. In fact, speaking of beer, I was thinking I'd hang out with one of your beer-making buddies for a while today.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go fishing.
Really?
Yeah, you know, why not?
I see you're prepared in case you fall in.
You know, I almost was decapitated just then. Yeah, you know, and then I think I'm gonna go over to Bourbon 30 and learn a little bit about how to blend a bourbon, and I'm gonna get to blend it hands-on. And then go to Local Feed and cook something, maybe, I don't know. So you wanna like maybe head over to Country Boy after all this excursion here in Georgetown and have a beer?
That sounds great, Kyle. But before you do, the trail boss gave me a little challenge.
A challenge?
Yeah.
Another one of these?
Yep, you did so good on the last one.
Do we have to do this? Wait, this ministering man made it big here. Weave through the streets of Lebanon Town to find some royal liquid history and learn how he quenched their thirst in more ways than one. What the heck does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in the cool waters of Elkhorn Creek today.
All right, well, let's go find out.
After you.
Let's go, Royal.
Afternoon. Tom Prather.
Tom Prather, Kyle Lake.
Good to see you. George Lesby. Good to see you.
You guys look like people that know what to do with whatever I'm holding here. And you've been experienced in this. Can you hold that for a second?
It looks like you might need some help.
Great. Yeah, I've got this book this guy wrote, standing in the middle of water. I think he... You know what? This is your book.
That's my book.
You know how to do this fishing business.
I do indeed.
You've only caught crawfish and minnows, apparently, but you can do this.
That's right.
Well, we've got to talk about how to fish then, because I'm having a lot of issues here right now.
He is the expert.
This is a beautiful place. We're here in Georgetown, Kentucky, on the
North Elkhorn Creek.
North Elkhorn. So there's more than one Elkhorns?
There is a South Elkhorn and a North Elkhorn, and they come together at Frankfort, and it's called Elkhorn.
And the Elkhorn Creek is 99 miles long.
99 miles?
If it's 100 miles long, it would be a river. We have a 99-mile
You only need 1 more mile? You
One
can have
more.
somebody dig that. I mean, that's easy. That's a weekend project. And you got the Elkhorn River. It changes everything. You got to redo all your maps, all your street names. You know.
Yeah, we like
you're
this
probably
quaint
right.
creek thing.
It is pretty quaint. So back behind us, we got. This is beautiful. We got paddle boarders out here. Or I don't know what they're. They're on surfboards, with paddles, kayaking, or something. What? Hey, where'd you get those things? Oh, that's fantastic. I got a friend who likes to do that kind of stuff. I'll tell her about it.
Very cool.
Paddling around. That's pretty, but it's beautiful out here. I mean, and I assume that with this thing, this device, and what you all have, that this is a fishing point as well, right? I mean,
Best fishing place in Kentucky.
best. So what's in there? What do you?
We have smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, crappie, brim, red eyes, and even some rough fish called carp and gar and those type. But
Wow, and you can eat all that stuff. Huh?
all but the gar and the carp. You don't want to eat them.
Depends on how hungry you are, really.
Yeah.
You'd have to be really hungry.
Fishing is a thing. I mean, people are sitting here, they're relaxed, they're out there, they're putting stuff like this on a hook. I don't know. I thought someone told me you can eat these things, and maybe at the end of the day, I probably will have caught enough that I don't have to eat this, but probably not. So, you know, you guys are going to show me how to do this, right? I mean, really, you put that on.
You got to hook that worm.
Ow!
Oh, they're sharp.
Yeah, it caught something. And then you take this and you throw it in the river, right? The
That's
whole
right.
thing,
Now,
whole
one
and
thing
all.
is important before you throw it in. You got to spit on your hook. Now, that's important
That's a good idea.
so that fish will bite on it.
You spin on it before you put this
No,
on?
no,
or
put the
after?
worm on there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And now, what do I do to cast it? Just.
Well, now you turn around and face the creek.
okay.
Now,
that
wait a
way.
minute. Now you push that said black button there.
Yeah.
Push that, and when you sling it out, well, let it up, and it'll go out.
All right, everybody,
Let Tom
stand
get
back.
out of the way.
This is gonna be intense. Hey, boarders, you better watch out now. How far out do I have to throw this?
Underhand.
Underhand? I don't know how to do that.
Be up in that tree.
All right, watch out now. Here we go. We're underhanding. I'm holding this black button. That action right
Look
there,
at
people.
that.
That's magic. It's gonna any minute now. How long does this take exactly before that fish goes?
What you doing right now?
Because I got somewhere to be. I mean, I
Oh,
got to
wait.
be at a bourbon place here in a little
I
bit.
don't think it's gonna catch him in about a week, maybe.
Can I leave this pole here?
Well, somebody else will go home with it.
I think mine was a little better.
H, how's it going?
It's awesome. Great to see you again.
Great. Well, tell me, where are we today?
We are on the lovely Elkhorn Creek here in Georgetown, Scott County, one of my favorite places in the world to be. I believe the most undervalued resource here in Georgetown. Where else would we rather be than here, right?
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better day.
That's right.
Well, tell me a little bit about the Elkhorn. You grew up in these waters, didn't you?
I did. I'm from northern part of Scott County, but I've been fishing the creek here my entire life. It's one of, like I said, one of my favorite places to be. It's so undervalued. The fishing here is awesome. Scenery's great. Whether you're into, if you're a hook guy, you know, you're gonna come in here and have some good luck with the fish, or if you're just a person that wants to come down and check out the scenery, the wildlife, whatever you may run into, it's so awesome. There's several spots you can access it right in downtown Georgetown. So easy. It's too easy not to be on all summer long.
DH, you grew up here in Georgetown, but I understand you've done some wandering around the world.
That's right. You know, for me, I'm a Scott County kid. I went to Scott County High School, went to Georgetown College, right here in Georgetown, obviously, went to UK after that for grad school. After grad school, I had the opportunity, though, to go to Japan via the sister city relationship between Georgetown, Kentucky, and Tahara, Japan, due to the fact that we have the Toyota factory here.
Really?
The Toyota factory is in Tahara, really close to Toyota City. So they allowed Georgetown College graduates to go there and actually teach in the public school system. So applied for the program, was accepted in 2006, went to Japan. I had a great time and just fell in love with the whole culture and the country. But I also met a guy that was an expat from Oxford, Ohio, that started a brewery there. And I really got into homebrewing there, was infected by his passion for craft beer. He kind of charged us a very Japanese way of saying, like, DH, when you go back to Kentucky, what are you guys going to do? I was there with soon-to-be partner Nathan Coppage was there in Japan with me. And we're like, well, we want to start a brewery, just like everybody who's ever been into craft beer, homebrewed said. And then it's crazy, but a few short years later, we opened our doors in Lexington, February 10th of 2012. And Country Boy was born and the dream was started, and I'm still coasting up to this point right now. One day I may wake up. I don't know when that's going to be, but it's been a wild ride. And to bring everything full circle, we opened up our facility in Georgetown. We broke ground March 30th of 2016.
And now you're making beer out of the water from Georgetown, right?
We say all the time, you know, we want to be good stewards of the resources that we've been given. And, you know, the majority of beer is water. So we got to be very careful about taking care of our local resources, of what we're putting in the water. You know, don't throw your cigarette butts in the storm drain, man, because they end up in the creek. You know, dispose of things like oil and things like that need to be disposed of properly. Don't put them in the water, because when we pollute the resources here that are so vital and pivotal to the county, it hurts everybody.
You're going to show us around a little later today, aren't you?
Yeah, how about after the floating, I'll swing by the brewery. We're going to have some folks over and going to be drinking a few beers. We've got a couple new ones out. You'll find something that'll suit your fancy.
Well, I promised Kyle I'd buy him a beer, so I think we can do that.
You know, he deserves one. He works hard.
Hello, Kyle. How are you doing today?
Doing well.
Welcome to Bourbon 30 Spirits Craft Distillery.
What a cool place to be in a cool town. What do we got going on here today?
We actually have people fly in from all over the U.S. to come here to do what's called private barrel selections.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds very delightful.
They'll come in and we'll pop some bungs off some barrels and just have a wonderful time picking something that's unique to them.
So what you're saying, we're gonna have a little science today?
Yes, we are.
And we could blend something like a downstream bourbon out of these kind of, this stuff?
I like where you're going with that. So this is an 11.5-year-old whiskey. All right, so this is a whiskey thief, and we're gonna use this. Kind of works like a straw. And
Big straw.
it is. So you know how you have a dominant eye, right? Do you know that, yeah, here you go, look. Okay, there you go. You know you actually have a dominant nostril too? This aids in helping you identify the bourbon profiles and flavors. One side you're going to pick up more ethyl alcohols, and the other side you're going to pick up more of the flavors and notes and the taste.
This one, it's this one.
Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so this is another 11.5-year-old whiskey. We're going to draw a sample from this, and you're going to compare it to this, and you'll be like, okay.
Same age,
Right.
different barrel.
Same age, same mash bill, everything.
Wow, okay. Already a different,
Profile, remember?
totally different. Wow.
Right.
Hold on. That's my good nostril. I think I just sucked some up there. That burns a lot.
So this is a 4-year-old Kentucky bourbon.
4 years, so this one's young, just a little baby.
It is,
All right.
but it's so good.
So if we get down to it and we're going to blend one, how do you go about it?
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look for a baseline.
Okay.
Something that's got some body to it.
Right.
You know, we want some body.
Yes.
Now, then we're going to look at the front and the end.
You know, the problem is I like a good front end and I like a good back end.
I do too.
You know, it's about the balance.
You know, sometimes I like the back end better, and sometimes I like the front end better.
Yeah, it just depends on the mood.
Well, it depends on the direction you want to head.
True.
All right,
I like this as a base.
let's do it.
I think the bourbon whiskey as a base.
Okay.
All right, there's one.
How about if we go to this one next, or do you want to stay here? Let's do an ounce of this one and an ounce of this one.
Okay.
And see what happens.
All right.
You seem to know what you're doing there. You sure you haven't done this before?
Not on TV.
You handle that quite well. Now what I need you to do is very carefully pour this into there.
Carefully.
Very carefully. You're going to put the hydrometer in there, put it in there slowly, and we are going to
All the way
read
down.
all the way down.
Oh, I put too much in. Look
It's
at
floating.
that.
Now see, can you see where it says proof?
Oh, look at that. How cool is that? So we're at 110.
We're at 110.
110. So,
All right. Now, what proof do you want it to be?
200.
Not going to happen.
How about a 90?
We can do that. Okay, you know what? We've got some Royal Spring water.
Is this it?
That is it.
Well, it looks like regular water to me.
Yeah, it should be. All right, so you are going to put a little bit of Royal Spring in the
so
beaker
I see.
here, and you're going to proof it down, which you're going to add a little bit of water. So now you are setting at 90. That was good. Are you sure you haven't done this before?
Only in my bathtub. All right.
All right. Now, how about we siphon it old school out of the barrel?
Siphon it.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I get my gasoline. All right. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to hook you up here. There's your bottle. You want to set that on the floor there?
On the floor. Okay, I put this on the floor.
Why not do everything old school?
On the floor. The bottle's on the floor.
All
Okay.
right.
So we can put this in here.
We're going to pull the body out first. You'll see it come all the way out and up through here.
Pour a little water and then we pour back in there.
With the infamous Royal Spring.
Now how much would you go to see if we do a little bit?
You are at 90.
Is it 90?
Yep. We're going to see what your craft is now.
This is the Downstream Bourbon 30.
I like that.
That is pretty solid. You should try
All right. You, sir, have done very well.
that. Jeff, thank you so much. You've been useless in my quest for my riddle answer, but you've been magical in my quest for making this bourbon. And what we're going to do now is head to Local Feed and see if they can
phenomenal.
make it. Is it good? Okay, because
yeah.
I'm hungry. I need
Fantastic.
to soak up a little bit of this. But we're going to see if they can make a cocktail out of the Downstream Bourbon 30.
Fantastic.
All right, I gotta
Cal,
check it
come
out.
back and see us.
You can count on it. This is a cool concept.
Hi, Carrie. You guys have a lot of folks on the river today. What's going on?
Well, we are doing the Elkhorn Float Fest here. It's a partnership between Georgetown, Scott County Parks and Recreation and Tourism, and we're just all out here having a good time.
You guys couldn't ask for more beautiful weather. Today is gorgeous, and there's lots of folks out today with all kinds of floats.
It is absolutely beautiful. We are so thrilled that the weather held out for us, even though there was a chance of rain, but everybody has come out and is having a good time.
Well, tell me a little bit about Float Fest. Where did the idea come from?
Well, the idea came from some of the recreation managers sitting around a table talking about some ideas on how we could utilize some of our natural resources here in Scott County. And most of our parks actually butt up to the Elkhorn. And we kind of talked about those ideas, and that's how it came together. And we formed the partnership to come up with the Elkhorn Creek Float Fest.
So Float Fest starts and stops in Peninsula Park?
That is correct.
So we've got two entries. One takes you a good 2.5 hours. The other one takes you about an hour and a half until you get to the exit point, but you are welcome to get back on and do it again. You know, you can just keep on going all day long.
Well, what a perfect place for it. I mean, it's just that nice, perfect horseshoe bend you can take out and put in right next to each other. I expect you'll have a lot of folks do this even without Float Fest.
We don't think that a lot of people have came out and floated before, but we do know that they're coming down here and utilizing this water source to kayak and canoe and to fish, because this is great fishing down here. But we're hoping now that people have seen the water, they'll come out too. You know, that's something a whole family can do, even if you don't have a canoe or kayak. Tube's reasonably affordable. You can jump in anytime.
I saw a unicorn go by earlier, and
We've seen a turtle, a large flamingo. We've got about 268 people out on the water today. Obviously, we're really wanting it to grow next year.
ladies, it was great floating with you. I think I'm gonna head downstream and see who else I can float into.
Well, have fun, enjoy.
Thank you, you guys have a great day.
Tasty food.
Kyle, how you doing?
Doing well, sir.
Justin Thompson, I'm the chef owner here at Local Feed. It's nice to have you.
There's all kinds of food here. I assume that you're somewhat responsible for this.
In a roundabout way, yeah, roundabout way.
Well, it looks fantastic. What this Local Feed I've heard about. Tell me about this. Is your whole concoction here?
It is a concoction. I think that's the perfect way to put it.
Tell me about this.
I've kind of done white tablecloth the majority of my life, and a few years ago we decided that we wanted to open our own place, and we really wanted to find a unique place and a unique building, and we found it here in Kentucky, and the cuisine we're doing here is really what we wanted to do. We feel like we needed to make something that made the everyday person comfortable, and they can also explore and go outside the box, and we're supporting the local farmers. And
this is local food. Tell me about local food. Where does this come? This all comes from the garden out back, I assume?
Not every bit of it. There is a garden out back. We try to pull some from there, but we also really rely on some local farmers. And anything that really leans on the idea of sustainability. I think that it's a huge word that people use and they don't totally understand. I think that there's a large part of it that people associate with just a certain geographical location. And that's one part of it. I think it's very important to support your local farmers and to put the money back into your community.
This is all from right here in this area. That's pretty neat. I mean, to be able to come in and source these type products. So what do we have here? I mean, we've got, looks like some chicken wings. Oh man, that's got.
Yeah, so kind of hitting the board here, we tried to do a little collage. So here we've got tricolored beets, all locally sourced with pickled onions, and a cave-aged blue cheese done by Kenny's Farmhouse, also local.
Wow.
Here we've got local free-range chicken wings that we're actually running as a special this evening. Special board is a huge thing for us. We try to go international, a little fusion. We try to hit the corners a little bit and give you a little bit of excitement. And then another big thing for us is whole animal butchery. So in whole animal butchery, we're getting our big cuts that are giving you your chops and your steaks and your common cuts, but then you've got everything else. So we do a lot of cured meats. So here we've got a chicken liver pate. We've got a duck rillette, so this is cured legs. It's paddled down with a little bit of brandy. Over here we've done a pork terrine, house-made bacon, ground pork, maraschino cherries down the middle. So these are some of the cured meats that we do. And this is something that we rotate. We've got several things that we're always working on.
And then obviously we have wonderful bourbons here. I understand you all have a few bourbons back inside as well.
We do. So when we opened up, one thing that I really wanted to make a highlight here was being a craft cocktail program. We've got an awesome mixologist back there that makes great drinks. He's always reading, he's always learning.
Just a little bit ago, I was next door, almost next door, blending what I like to think is actually a pretty snazzy bourbon myself. You think we could go in there and get that mixologist to make some kind of crazy drink?
I think that's got to be the plan.
We should dig into this and then run in there and check out that mixologist.
Let's do the thing.
So let's, here, take these wings.
All right, so right here we are building the Hellfire and Limestone. It's a bourbon-based cocktail. Right now we're featuring a blend that's been concocted down at the Bourbon 30 distillery, right down the street from us here at Local Feed. To start with the build, we use a ½ ounce of lemon juice. We're using a full ounce of the ginger syrup. It's been built from scratch. Ginger root that's been juiced, mixed with a little bit of sugar. 2 ounces of your bourbon of choice. And then about 4 or 5 drops of the habanero bitters. Doesn't take much of this. Give you a little bit of heat on the back end of the drink. Ice. Give it a good shake. Strain. We're gonna top with some ice. And then to finish the drink off, a little lemon peel. Express over the drink. Rim so you're getting the aromatics from the lemon. And then there you have the Hellfire and Limestone.
Oh man, I'm telling you what, Justin, this has been an unbelievable experience. And you know, I got one last question for you. What do you know about some kind of Royal liquid?
You must be talking about Royal Springs. So we've got a natural spring right across the street for water. Since the beginning, that's why we've settled here. And it's actually where the Baptist minister, Elijah Craig, pulled his water to make bourbon for the first time. Right across the street.
Right across the street.
That far.
I'm gonna go check it out right now. It's a pleasure. It's been all good. Well, hello there, Miss Carrie. You survived, I see.
I did. I had a great day. I told you I was going to play in the water all day.
And you did, I suppose?
I
you make any
did.
friends out there?
I did. Well, I ran into an old friend. I ran into DH. And then I made some new friends in Scott County and Georgetown.
How'd you make out with the challenge?
You know, I think I know who it is.
I doubt it. Because, you know, I actually went and asked a crow.
A crow?
Yeah, he didn't know. But then I went to Bourbon 30, and Jeff told me that the weaving thing was about these factories and mills that were constructed here in the 1790s. So then I went to Local Feed and talked to Justin. Justin told us that Royal Spring, it used to supply water from the first days that this little town was created, it's a Lebanon town, up until the 1950s. This man who started these factories on Royal Spring happened to be a minister, the Reverend Elijah Craig.
So you solved it?
Elijah Craig. And Elijah Craig is supposedly the man who first mass-produced bourbon in the world.
I think we should drink to Elijah Craig.
I think we should make a toast to Elijah Craig and Georgetown and
the Elkhorn.
the Elkhorn Creek. Until next time,
We'll see you
downstream.